First quarter of the qualifying final, Geelong and Footscray, the Bulldogs chasing their first premiership since 1954. Knock away to Geelong by Barnes. Ball, says the crowd. First free kick of the game.
We go to Stoneham, taken too high, Pete. Free kick was for
Barry Stoneham. Kicks up towards the Jollymont end. Hocking. Almost a clean possession. Couldn't take it. Campbell leaves it for Stanfield. Kick partially smothered off the boot as it comes up towards midfield again. Coleman must have been taken high. Was taken high. He got it right on the nose, Glenn Coleman, and he'll take the free kick for Footscray. Coleman, a real journeyman in football terms, kicks up towards the edge of the square, and the umpires have found another free kick. This time it's going to Simpson, and he got it for a push in the back. Over to one of the two Hockings in the Geelong 20 now. Gary Hocking gives it back to Simpson. No, he doesn't. He gives it to John Barnes. Barnes's kick up towards half forward. Marking contest out there. Knocked away by Reynolds. Not very far. A little back kick. And slap forward. Chance for Geelong's first goal. That came up from Mansfield, but he's kicked only one behind. So the first score of the game coming up at the minute-and-a-half mark of the first quarter. And it goes to the Cats.
Interchange for both teams. For Geelong, Miles and Wills, and for Footscray, Corcoran and Collingwood.
Reynolds kicks into the near side. The bounce is not all that kind for Baxter. He's nearly run down by Brownless, but he gets the kick away up to right half forward, where the mark is taken for Footscray by Justin Charles. Charles, who has replaced Scott Wind in the Footscray side. He's kicked the centre half forward. Couch gives it away to Royal. Royal's kick to a vacant left forward pocket. Kellett loves to run with the football. Nigel Kellett gets past Brown, goes for goal. Nigel Kellett hooks the kick, and it's through for a behind to Footscray. A few nerves, Ross.
Well, yes, and that handball coming from Paul Couch. He was looking for Buse back in the middle of the ground. It was intercepted by Royal. It was an unusual mistake there, I thought, from a very experienced player. Should have come to the boundary line.
Barnes makes the lead. Hinkley kicks in. No mark taken. Sweeping hand pass comes out the direction of Riccardi. Kicks up towards half forward, goes straight down the centre of the ground. Tui missed the mark and then got taken high without the ball. And Bernard Tui will take the free kick at centre half back for the Bulldogs.
Bernard Tui playing against one of his former sides.
The other one, of course, the Sydney Swans. Be keen to do well here today. Bernard Tui. Chance for Simpson again. A little chip shot. Over to Victorian representative Andrew Buse. Kicks up towards Hocking. That's Gary Hocking at midfield. So like yesterday, scoring difficult in the first few minutes. Oh, gee, was that a push in the back of Brownless?
Yeah, definitely.
50 metres, that should be too. Baxter kicked it away.
Yes, well, it happened yesterday in the first part of the game too, Robbo, where free kick was given, and I think it was Robert Harvey played on, and 50 metres came. So here's the push in the back. Definite free kick there, to Brownless. And Blake continued on.
He just about kicked this, Ross, wouldn't he?
Oh, one of the few players. In fact, he'd kicked that pretty easily, Pete.
Bill Brownless, who's been in great form lately. Distance is not a problem. Accuracy is neither. First goal to Geelong.
Oh, great kick by Brownless.
Oh, one of those players you can back for distance, certainly from that area. And he's the sort of player, Robbo, too. If he starts with that sort of confidence in the first few minutes of the game, you can expect a lot from him. And there's a player who's just delivering the ball to him in Hocking, Gary, who's such an important player for Geelong midfield, and even more so today in the absence of Bairstow.
A very good player, Billy Brownless. And Geelong get the first goal of the game. Big emphasis on the centre bounces, and Barnes is jumping beautifully at the moment. Couch has been productive. This is picked off by Hawkins. Hawkins' left foot kick up towards the 50-metre line. Royal leads Malakalis. That could nearly have been a free kick there to Royal. It was. And Brian Royal with his second touch of the game, but he's very deep at left half forward for the Bulldogs. Wonderful player, Brian Royal, for the Footscray Football Club. Short pass, and it's not bad either on it. Slips through Grant's hands. Here's Liberatore. Handball, Atkins. Steve Hocking. Atkins again. No, Grant can't get through. Handball wider still. McPherson caught by Riccardi. Ball goes to ground. Away go the Cats. Barnes receiving from Handley. In turn over the top to Gary Hocking. Gary Hocking's kick. He centres it in towards half forward. No mark taken. Chance for Coleman. Over the shoulder, was it?
Holding on.
Holding on, says the umpire. So the free kick will go to Stoneham, and that's his second free kick of the game.
Barry Stoneham, well, maybe too far out to score. If Bill Brownlow's had it, you'd say he'd just about get the distance. Any breezes behind him. Gee, he's given it a decent old roost. Look at that. And one behind, says the goal umpire. Kicked by Barry Stoneham, his first score of the afternoon. Bench for the Cats. Keenan Reynolds to kick in. He's named as a possible interchange player, lined up in the 18. Oh, a good mark taken by Matthew Mansfield. Two Mansfields out there today. Matthew and Michael on the opposite sides. Charles, gee, pushing the back as well. Mark or whatever. Umpire says play on. Royal on a lead and marks.
And Pete, that's what they've got to do. They've got to move the ball on quickly. They can't afford to be stationary in their movements and just playing on from there. Liberatori's kick was a beauty.
3 touches now to Brian Royal. He was named as a possible interchange player. I think that's a bit of a joke. He'd be in my best 18 for Footscray, but the veteran lines up for possibly Footscray's first goal. Inside 50, kicked from about 40 metres. Looks good. A goal. The Bulldogs hit back.
Yes, and he's been such a key, has Brian Royal, coming through. That's his 41st goal for the season. And he, along with Delray, Hawkins and Chris Grant, they just form a very dangerous forward line with the hard-working Glenn Coleman at centre-half forward. But there's a work out of the centre. Charles presented himself quickly off to Liberatore, and he found Royal with a lovely kick.
I think not Terry Wheeler, Malcolm Blight's made a change already there. He's got Steve Hocking back on Brian Royal. Ruck contest. 1 point the advantage for Geelong. A free kick at the centre bounce. Charles away to Baxter. Baxter's little kick is too far. The mark is taken by McGrath at right half back for Geelong. Short pass into the centre. Buse. Always a busy player, Andrew Buse. Lovely long kick to half forward. Oh, what a great mark. Stoneham. Gerard Healy said on Sports World this morning, possibly one of the best players in the competition. There's no doubt that he's one of the best, but Ross?
Well, look, he's got everything, Robbo. He's got such an athletic ability as a runner. He's tall, can do everything.
Very strong, Stoneham. He kicks for goal and he makes no mistake. First goal to Stoneham, and Geelong have kicked their second. They're 2-2-14. Footscray are 1-1-7.
Yes, and if these conditions continue, we could see a fairly high-scoring game because it's going nip and tuck at the moment. And with the key forwards getting into the game, here we see Stoneham just taking one of those typical marks of his, coming from the side with his height and strength. And he's such a wonderful finisher too. Well played.
Looks like Royce Hart the way he took that one. 7 points the difference after Barry Stoneham's mark and goal. 14 plays 7, 18.5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's the Cats doing it well. Atkins, he must fire. Footscray's to do well here this afternoon. Coleman, a fumble. Crucial to get it out of the centre. Scott fumbles likewise. Mansfield dives on top of it. And the temper's becoming a little bit frayed. Libber, the last to get up. Isn't he always? Gee, that's an anxious-looking Footscray bench. Barking instructions. Is the phone broken there? As it was, I think, at Waverley yesterday. Coleman, a quick kick out of the centre, up towards Kellett, who loves to run, but he can't this time. He has to go back to take his kick. A 9-iron shot. Atkins. And as I mentioned only 30 seconds back, if he fires, Footscray will be in with a real chance. Against Carlton, he was well down, a match in which the colours of Footscray were lowered. So Atkins a chance for his first goal and Footscray's second. Right on 50. Gee, not a good kick. It's coming back a little, but not enough for a score. And out of bounds, throw in left forward pocket for Footscray.
Yes, that's the change that was made, Robbie. You're quite right there. Hocking now picking up Royal with Malacallis at the moment just running with Atkins.
Charles and Barnes. Barnes wins it, not decisively. Hocking away from defence. A good little chip shot finds Peter Riccardi. Riccardi from his own defensive 50-metre line kicks downfield.
Oh, Geelong have got the numbers at the fall of the ball. Views. The pass is too short. Brownless. Shot for goal by Brownless. He hooks it too far. You wouldn't believe it.
1-1 he's kicked.
Well, it was a reasonably difficult shot. And to hook it even further past the goals, the Footscray players on the interchange bench warming up. That's Corcoran and Kolonyuk. Brownless misses, and the kick in is done by Reynolds.
Keenan Reynolds kicking in from full back. Hickmott was there, the redhead, playing only his second game.
It's a free kick, Pete, being paid for a push in the back. It's going to Hickmott.
Under 19 best and fairest last year, coming from Horsham. Not much of him.
What a plus it is. He only played his first game a week or so ago, and now he's in the finals.
Kicks to the front of goal. Brownless the target. Campbell, good punch. Liberatore looking for assistance. Finds it in the person of Tui. Tui kicks to the member stand side.
Well
good mark
played.
taken by Super. That's McPherson. McPherson's kicked to centre wing. One-on-one duel.
Oh, that was critical.
From John Barnes.
Gee, that was critical.
If he hadn't got the punch away there, Charles had Baxter running alongside and they could have opened it right up.
So boundary throw in centre wing. 16 minutes left in the first quarter. Coleman looking for front position. In fact, they all missed it. Baxter with the long sleeves today. One of the real stoppers. Looks for Justin Charles. Did he keep it in? I don't think he did. And he's out. And we collect a couple of photographers down there. So it will be a throw in about 50 metres from goal.
And Justin Charles has another string to his bow, Peter. He's one of the very promising baseballers in Victoria. So, big challenge for him. Aussie rules football and baseball, but at the moment, he's got the job in front of him.
Oh,
Working hard in the ruck. There's Atkins taken too high. Simon Atkins has the free kick about 40 metres from goal. And importantly for him, he's about 8 or 9 metres closer than his previous shot.
Because his last kick, he just pushed the ball to the inside of his boot, which then forced the ball to go left.
Well, I think he'll be a little bit more confident with this one. And he does the job nicely. Simon Atkins.
similar trajectory though. It went left and then came back.
And then seemed to, well, breeze, I guess.
Yes, and just before he took that kick too, Robbo, he just sort of said to himself, now run on a straight line and drop the ball straighter than he did on the previous occasion. And that's exactly what he did, and the result was there. Here's the free kick. McGrath, the tackler, just the right hand coming up underneath the chin of Atkins. Good decision.
Simon Atkins getting Footscray's second goal. There's only 2 points the difference. 15 minutes left in the first quarter. Atkins again, a quick kick out of the centre from a standing start on the 50-metre line. You could almost say that was a push in the back. Royal battling with Stephen Hocking. And the old stage he gets up. No free kick.
Don't think he'd be impressed with the old business. 30 years of age, he's old.
In football terminology, I think I'm correct. There he goes again. Gee, he's had about 5 touches now. Kicks up towards full forward. No mark taken. Chance for McPherson. Tries to brush one tackle. The hand pass inboard. The Del Rey is effective. Over his shoulder. Danny's kick registered only one behind.
Well, but if you had to give him the handball in the first instance to Del Rey, who was alongside him and in his vision, rather than running away from goal toward the boundary and then attempting another handball whilst under pressure, would have been a different result.
Ken Hinckley. He's been in the wars of late. Gee, that's a good kick. Charles getting front position. Good mark. Too tall for Brown. So Justin Charles taking on the ruck mantle so far effectively, and a pretty good sort of a kick. He's found Cavett. Cavett has to go back for his kick. Long boot, should land it almost in the kick-off area. Ablett flies, couldn't take the mark. Tries to scoop it out, does so, but the whistle's already gone. It'll be a bounce.
If Gary Ablett's down there in the last line of defence, Ross,
he's having a run on the ball.
Yep. Bounce about 15 metres from the Footscray goal. Chance now for Del Rey. Shrugs the tackle. Too high.
When you try and get a run like that, that's right. I agree.
Look, so absolutely important 20 metres from goal. But Footscray now have a chance to kick a goal.
Wasn't the Atkins free kick, Robbo, similar?
Atkins actually was standing and McGrath came from behind, but this occasion Del Rey's trying to duck to get out of it and play on.
Well,
in fact, he almost could have pinged for holding the ball.
Del Rey to shoot for goal from 20 metres out and put Footscray in front. And he kicks the goal. Del Rey's first. The boos are from the Geelong fans. 13 minutes left. Footscray lead by 5 points.
Yes, and that's talking about Gary Ablett going down in the defensive area there. He's changing with Couch off a half-forward flank at the moment. See this once again. He's held the ball for, had a chance to get rid of it, then ducked to try and avoid the players. Play on.
So back to the centre. Footscray in front. 5 points the difference. 13 minutes left in the first quarter. The bounce goes Geelong's way. Actually knocked down by Scott. Ablett, was he taken high? He'll get the free kick. Taken high by Liberatore, if physically that's at all possible. Straight down the centre corridor. Stoneham up one-handed. Hickmott, a knock-on. Gary Hocking, quick to pounce on the ball. Long shot at goal. Will register a behind, I feel. Kicked by the Geelong ruck rover, Gary Hocking, his first score of the afternoon. And so the Cats reduce the margin to 4 points as Reynolds kicks in. Well bandaged, like a thoroughbred. This favours the member side slightly. Glenn Coleman has the height, has the front position, and runs on. Again, basically down the centre. Good race for the ball. Charles, turns like a rover. Superbly done. Grant, the two number 29s, but it's Grant in front and takes the mark in front of Ken Hinkley. Chips it in short. Oh, Kellett stood his ground well.
It's a terrific effort there, but the two big fellows there dominating. Good kick in, and then Coleman taking the mark. I thought he played on and ran into trouble, but he got away with it. And his kick to find Charles is terrific.
Your heart was in your mouth when Glenn Coleman played on at centre half back.
Goodness me, I think some of his teammates' hearts were as well.
Kellett, pretty acute angle. Doesn't make any difference. It's a goal. So Kellett gets his first. He's kicked 1-1 so far out of Footscray's tally of 4-2. They lead by 10 points.
It's great to see terrific clean passages of football there. Players handballing and balling without fumbles. In these conditions here, Charles just did that very well. And then his kick and a follow-up there from Grant, and then Kellett, under a bit of pressure, did it very, very well.
A good effort there by Nigel Kellett. Barnes gets the tap down. Ablett tries to make a path there for Bewes. Eventually Bewes does well, but the hand pass is erratic. Mansfield dispossessed by Liberatore, kicked away by Reynolds, back towards the wing. The mark is taken by Kellett. Could have nearly been penalised there. Now he's asked to play on, and he kicks with the left foot in towards half forward. Grant, wonderful composure to just keep his footing, and he gets around onto the right foot and kicks it to Baxter. Footscray absolutely killing Geelong at the moment.
Yes, and that's brilliant from Chris Grant. Fantastic play.
Two good passes in the last minute he's dished out.
Darren Baxter kicking from about 47 metres and gets under it a little bit. Lobs it right in the goal square. That's a mark. Certain mark to Charles.
He's had a lot of experience with full forward in the reserves, Justin Charles. Not only just having a run on the ball, but see what a confidence booster this will be too. In the middle of a pack there with Barnes trying to spoil from behind. Terrific grab.
Justin Charles, 21 years of age, just a youngster. Kicks for goal and puts it straight through the centre, and the arms in the air. The Bullies are fire here at the MCG. They've kicked 5-2, Geelong are 2-4.
Yes, and he's a very exuberant type of player, and he and Coleman have interchanged a little bit on the ball. And here, see the mark again. Full marks to Justin Charles. He's trying to grab his spot and hold on to it.
So Footscray setting the pace early in the opening quarter. 10 minutes left. Bounce favours Charles. Taps it out, tries to find Liberatore. He's got good backup support from Wallace. Hawkins, his first effective touch. Hawkins out towards an open Footscray right half forward line. They don't have the numbers though. It's Geelong. Hinkley. Oh gee, ordinary sort of a kick. Not so many options open for him. Couch gets it back to McGrath. McGrath from left centre wing. Kicks to left half forward. I was going to say a marking contest, but it's no marking contest. Stanfield takes it. Could be 50, is 50. Everything going Footscray's way at the moment. I think that was an accident. Maybe they don't count.
And that's where it's so harsh, that penalty, isn't it? I mean, it's not worth 50 metres, goodness me.
It's the old 15 would have been.
And Stanfield's been fantastic at centre-half back in the absence of Peter Foster.
Foster played in the twos here today. Didn't really do that much. Up towards full forward. No mark taken. Little toe poke off the ground from Charles. Good tackle by Liberatore. Tackled by Couch. Could have almost been penalised. Hocking. Gets it over to Riccardi, who was pinned, nailed, call it what you will, the ball spills out of bounds.
Oh, great effort by the Footscray forward,
just chased and didn't want the ball to get out of their area.
Footscray fans happy at the moment. Side leading 5-2 to 3-4. Chance for them again here. The ball scooped out towards the 50-metre line. Hocking, that pretty solidly.
In trouble.
He's down.
Hasn't moved. Now he's all right.
Riccardi, away he goes. Plenty of weight being used there. Campbell leads in the race for the ball. Oh, the gloves on. He's got two jumpers as well. He's well rugged up. Here's number 6. And the ball padded over the boundary line. Good safe knockdown there.
Hocking's gone Pete's shoulder, I think, definitely. That's the great hip and shoulder from Hawkins. It's part of the game. Immediately you saw his grab his left hand.
And Billy Brownless, has he done his shoulder as well? He has had problems with that in the past. Stodham taps down, so things aren't going Footscray's way. Baxter, Liberatore, quick hand pass. Hawkins again. And here come Footscray, the kick up towards centre wing.
Cats in a bit of trouble with 2 players injured. Hocking replaced by Wills. And Wills immediately into the play. Will get a kick on centre wing. He thumps it long in towards centre half forward. Brownless being attended by the physiotherapist at the back. As away goes Footscray. Mansfield, his kick up towards half forward. Grant out in front. Bulldogs can assert their authority in this 5 minutes with Geelong just a little in disarray. Gary Hocking to Hinkley. Hinkley at centre half back. Kicks it high. Ablett, no, he leaves it for young Hickbott, and Hickbott marks. Gives the hand pass away to Ablett. Ablett in turn, wider still. Buse, very productive from 50 metres. Buse goes long. Brownless has got it. What a great recovery by Big Billy, and he's kicked the goal. All clear.
Brownless gets his second. Shoulder still doesn't look too good, Ross.
No, but the fact that he had the guts just to put his hands up and take that mark, it's just critical. It's like Brett in that grand final. He just had to do it for his team. I'm sure that'll come good whilst he stays warm. Just see here, he just cops one here. There it is, just cops it on that AC joint. He should be okay.
So the Cats hit back, 10 points the difference, and there are 8 minutes left in the first quarter. It's certainly been an action-packed one so far. A couple of injuries to Geelong. That magnificent bump from Doug Hawkins. Hocking, Atkins, that's got to be in danger. And Simon Atkins not too happy about the decision, tells the umpire that. Gary Hocking with the free kick at midfield. Goes in short, mark taken by Barnes. He looked for somebody going past. The interchange player Wills kicks down to the square. Brownless almost. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 already, Brownless. And if they lost him, that would be a tragic blow for Geelong's chances, well, not only today, but also for the finals. Doesn't look a happy boy, Billy. We have a bounce. A chance for a Geelong goal. Stanfield knocks the ball over the boundary line. The best result the Bulldogs could have hoped for that. As we go down to Gerard Healy, what's the news from the Geelong bench?
Well, Stephen Hocking has got a little bit of a separation of his AC joint. It's doubtful whether he'll come back on. They're mobilising and trying to get it going, but in some doubt now.
Well, that's bad luck for them. Snapshot for goal came from Mansfield. It's a goal. So Mansfield gets his first for Geelong. He kicked 1-1. The Cats hit back. They come to within a kick in the first quarter.
Yes, and this game's just ebbed and flowed here, and Geelong just taking over the game this last 5 minutes, just looking more positive. Some of their players midfield just getting hold of the footy and doing the right thing. And Robbo, you mentioned that with Hocking coming on and Brownless just putting Geelong in a bit of disarray, with Wills then coming on, Malcolm Bice being able to offset Footscray a bit, because now they don't know who to pick up. So it's actually worked.
Yeah, it's interesting,
reverse,
isn't it? Yeah, you probably think at first that it's the team with the 2 injured players, but you're right there, Ross.
Now it takes a bit of reconstruction from Terry Wheeler.
So we'll have the bounce back in the centre with 6.5 minutes left. Footscray lead by 4 points. The ball nearly won there by Atkins. He's able to tap it clear, but only as far as Hinkley. Hinckley's kick across his body goes back into the busy centre. Barnes and Stoneham leave it. Through comes Stanfield. Now Atkins. A long kick by that player into the pocket. Grant. He is such a good player, Chris Grant. You can't keep him out of the game for the whole journey. And he's marked in that left forward pocket.
It was a towering kick from Atkins,
Oh,
wasn't it?
yes, beautiful kick. It's important here. And Brown, Paul Brown that is, from Geelong, who has played a number of games in the forward line, now finding himself as a defender. He certainly will have his hands full with Chris Grant.
Well, Grant, the difficulty confronting Chris Grant is the angle. He's only 25 metres out. So let's see what he can do. Chance for the Bulldogs' 6th goal in the first quarter of the qualifying final. He's kicked it. Chris Grant gets his first goal. And Footscray kicked their 6th. They're 6-2. Geelong are 4-4.
And Footscray have had 6 individual goal kickers. It just shows how even their team has been. It's indicative of their whole season. They've had contributors all over the ground. They haven't been reliant on one forward or one player to carry them through. They've just spread the workload, which is terrific.
Chris Grant joining the ranks of the goal kickers. Charles, Callett, Atkins, Del Rey, Grant, as I mentioned, and Brian Royal for their tally of 6. Good hip and shoulder applied by Wallace. Stanfield, a quick kick out of the centre. They've been good at getting it out of the centre. Footscray so far in this quarter. And they go into attack again. Royal leaves it. Wills will take the hand pass. Started on the bench and came on. He's been on about 5 minutes. Haven't seen much of Ablett so far. Tui pushes him in the back. Ablett will take the free kick.
Played it for across the shoulder, the umpire indicating.
Gary Ablett to the Brownlow medalist Couch. Up and turned to Peter Riccardi. And Brownless, yes, he's marked. And again, we would suggest distance shouldn't be a problem. Let's hope that shoulder of his is okay.
Good little kick by Riccardi there.
Said again, well, Brownless, whilst he keeps going, keeps that shoulder warm. That's very important. Jeff Miles warming up.
That, interesting to see who he replaces.
What a kick.
He's drawn it back. It's close. Line ball looks good. The umpire says yes, it's a goal. So Brownless gets his 3rd for the quarter. 3 goals, 1. And Geelong again to within 4 points. 5-4 to 6-2.
Yes, and it's Paul Brown who's come off after that mark from Chris Grant. And there we see it there. But Brownless in his first final last year, not his first ever, but his final for Geelong last year against St Kilda, kicked 8. And he's certainly starting off in a similar vein now.
So you just can't afford to let Billy Brownless get the football around about 50 metres or closer. Just makes you pay for it. Couch gets the ball out of the centre. Riccardi a fraction slow. He's kicked to half forward. Gary Hocking makes a little bit of a path for Mansfield. Mansfield onto the right foot. High kick in towards full forward. Mark is taken by Crediuk.
And well done by Bernard too. He kept Ablett out of the action. He was running, going for a jump until he put his body in.
Crediuk's kick in turn is marked by Simpson. He plays on quickly. Kicks it a little too high for Couch. Footscray in trouble at centre-half back. Stoneham over the top. Has given away a free kick. And it'll be taken for Footscray by Mansfield. Mansfield quickly. Kicks it a little bit too high for the forwards' chances. But Coleman does well. Nearly takes the mark, but now getting a free kick.
Going to Geelong. Couch. Now that confused a few people there.
It was for an open-handed throw, handball if you like, Pete.
Crediuk's hand pass. Darren Baxter marking contest on centre wing. That could have been a free to Footscray for too high. Riccardi to Couch again on the Bewes off bad hand pass right next to the interchange area. He won't be happy with that. So a throw-in will take place on centre wing. Brown sits the bench. Coleman and Barnes. Couch again. Riccardi. A high kick that'll bring rain, which we don't need any more of. Is it a mark or is it out of bounds? Crediuk has taken it. Boundary umpire gives him the thumbs up.
He's going to get the kick anyway.
Kicks to half forward.
Oh, well done.
Yes, good mark
Hinckley.
taken by Ken Hinckley.
Stood his ground very, very well.
He does always. Cops a few occasionally.
Good kick.
Mansfield. looks around for assistance. Not too much on offer for him. He'll have to go long now. Now he gives away the hand pass to Wills, who's been, well, useful since he came on. Ablett sandwiched. He hasn't had much of a go so far. Gary, Brownless, tries to get it to Ablett. Can he do something? The superstar gives away the hand pass. And a quick kick, not to the advantage of Geelong. Comes from Darren, from Miles it was. And Darren Baxter, one of the real stoppers in the game, takes the mark in defence, and he goes to the MCG member stand side wing.
And it goes through the pack of players, but that pack of players consisted of Steve McPherson, and he's going to take the free kick just behind the wing for Footscray. Steve McPherson, over 150 games now with Footscray. He's kicking towards half forward. Charles tries to get it to Wallace. Wallace hand pass. Atkins, in turn Liberatore. Liberatore from 55. Lovely little kick. Hawkins is marked in the pocket. Look out, Dougie.
And just a perfect option there from Simon Atkins there, giving you two options to give it to as a teammate. He picked Liberatore because he was a left foot on the outside of play, and he had Hawkins free as well set up.
Now Hawkins, such a talented footballer, really should kick this. Dougie Hawkins shoots for goal. It looks pretty good. Hawkins kicks his first, and Footscray doing very nicely in the first term of the qualifying final. They lead by 10 points.
Yes, and Hawkins having a bit more of a roaming role rather than just playing more station on the forward. And there's that perfectly set up handball from Atkins, which allowed Liberatore to dispose of the ball correctly. And Hawkins having a bit of an influence on the game, playing off half-back and running through the centre.
12 goals kicked in the first quarter, and Footscray is 7 by 7 different players. So quite an oddity. Under a minute to go in the opening term. Barnes against Charles. 10 points the difference. Barnes wins it, tries to get it to Couch. Couldn't do so. Wallace, well shepherded by Hawkins. Kicks it back over his head. Good mark taken by Tim McGrath. Time running out for scoring in the opening term, but we've seen plenty of it. Game played at a pretty high stand. This is Riccardi. Riccardi from left centre wing spears the pass out. It's an absolute shocker. Wallace, Atkins, Liberatore, the Brownlow medalist, gets met. Partial smother out there. Wallace backs his judgment pretty well. Puts the Bulldogs deep into attack to half forward, but Simpson takes the mark. It's Marakalis. Spiro's kick up towards the youngster. Hickmott couldn't take it. The rebound goes to Footscray's Mansfield. Mansfield at left centre wing. Oh, it's a grubber. Up towards half forward. Taken away for Geelong by Simpson this time. Hickmott taps the ball over the boundary line in front of Matt Mansfield, and so we'll see a throw in. That might be the last action we see in the opening term as the boundary umpire picks it up, but he won't even throw it in. And Glenn Coleman didn't like that little bit of treatment. At quarter time, a 10-point advantage to Footscray. The Bulldogs leading 7-2, 44, Geelong 5-4, 34 in the qualifying.